Welcome to Commanders Daily, everybody. I'm Bob Matthews. This is your one-stop shop for everything going on with the local 53. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss a day of it. And thank you to everybody that has subscribed so far. Hey, we're new, but we are growing here. And as we get into minicamp and then training camp and the season, I think it's going to be one hell of a 2025 season. So let's start with the big news of the day. It actually concerns the rivals down in Dallas. Cowboys making a trade. They said, well, Adam Peters got himself a wide receiver. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to get George Pickens from the Steelers. Pretty Jerry Jones move when you think about it. Here are the details on that one. Pickens goes to the Cowboys, and the Cowboys give up some draft capital to do that. The Cowboys are sending a third-round selection as well as some other picks to Pittsburgh. In return, they get a wide receiver who, is really, really good, but also can be a diva when things don't go his way. And that, I think, it's a direct result. The Cowboys doing that is a direct result of the Commanders landing Deebo Samuel. When you look at what the Commanders got Samuel for and then what the Cowboys gave up for Pickens, Adam Peters won this one without a doubt. Cowboys, again, a third round and a fifth round in 2027. In return, they get Pickens and a sixth round in 2027. That's, it's how these things work these days. In contrast, Adam Peters and the Commanders gave up just a fifth round selection for Samuel. Okay, Samuel is a little bit older, but he's a hell of a lot more accomplished. He's gotten to a Super Bowl and a couple of conference championship games. That's something you can't say about Pickens. And I think it was just a better move, plain and simple. But then again, you've got Adam Peters, and then you've got Jerry Jones. I think we know who the better general manager is on that one. So, and I think you can definitely see that Dallas was making that move in response to what the Commanders have done this offseason. And all that is due to that one guy up there in the big office. Speaking of Peters, he was on the Pat McAfee show yesterday. Pretty good interview. Thought he equated himself pretty well. A couple of interesting things that he said. The first was that they asked him about Josh Harris and Josh Harris's ownership so far. And I love the fact that Peters said that Harris has given him everything that he's asked for, whether it is a new locker room that they're working on, a cafeteria, a weight room, whatever he said they needed. He said he would go to Harris and say, we need this. And the only question Harris ever asked was, is it good for the players? And when Peters said that it was, and he explained to him why, he said Josh Harris said, do it. He said that Harris has, as we all know, invested a ton of money in the team. And that's why this is becoming a destination place for players around the league. And I think you're just going to see that more and more as the years go on. Also asked him an interesting question. It was almost kind of an offhanded thing, and everybody's going to do it. But asked him about the name, and he said, do you like the name? But Peter's answer was kind of interesting. He said, everyone in the building is 100% all in on the name. Well, that's true, but we know that most fans out there, overwhelming majority, absolutely hate it. It got me to thinking, and again, I've got nothing to base this on whatsoever, but could there possibly be a change in the nickname again, a rebranding when they move into the new stadium? I guess it's possible, but it's not going to happen before that. But it was interesting, to hear. It wasn't a non-answer that Peters gave, but it wasn't like, oh, we love the name Commanders and we just think it's the greatest nickname ever, et cetera, et cetera. He does know how to read the room. We don't really have any Jayden Daniels news, but this time of year, it's all about the lists. It's almost list season. Saw an interesting thing on CBSSports.com. They did a post-draft analysis of the quarterback position. Is it surprising where they have Daniels? Yeah, I think it is a little, but that's only because of exactly where they have him. their NFL quarterback power rankings, the first one of 2025 has Jayden Daniels listed first. That's a good question. Do you think he is literally the best quarterback in the NFL right now? Hit us up in the comments if you do. In their explanation, they say you'd be hard-pressed to find an NFL team that wouldn't hurry to claim him as its quarterback of the present and future. Simply unflappable, much of his dynamic debut, which ended on the doorstep of the Super Bowl. Second-year dip possible, yes, but who says he won't keep climbing with some veteran help in D.C.? All valid points. And everything I think we've seen, and because of the fact that he is that dual threat, I don't think we're going to see, if you see a drop at all in his sophomore year, it's not going to be a whole lot. It's why he gives me Patrick Mahomes vibes, in the sense that he has set the bar high and he's going to keep clearing it every year. You know, I don't see a huge regression his second year, and I definitely don't think he is the RG3 flash in the pan. You know, he has a solid sophomore season, and all of the ghosts of seasons past will absolutely be buried. Just in case you were wondering, they had Jalen Hurts ranked second for obvious reasons, Joe Burrow third, Lamar Jackson fourth, Josh Allen fifth, and Patrick Mahomes sixth. That might be a little bit low on Mahomes, but still, when you look at just go and take a look just at the quarterback position in general, and then think to yourself about where you see Jayden Daniels fitting in right now. You would be hard-pressed to have him probably much lower than, based on what we've seen so far, fourth or fifth, tops. And you can make that argument for that top spot. Now, again, we've got a long way to go, and this may look vastly different, you know, the end of September, the end of October, something like that. But for right now, hey, let's just, revel in the fact that he pretty much is one of the 3 or 4 best in the league right now. Finally, here, before we get out of here, something I want to start doing on a semi-regular basis, and that's answering your questions in the comments section. And thank you for it, those of you who have commented. We did get a question in the comments section, or just, a comment, and thank you for it, saying, loving the moves, but do you think they're going to do more to address the running back position? I think they may, but it's also not going to surprise me if they go into the season with what they have. Now, if you get a veteran out there that all of a sudden, pops up and is just an obvious, we've got to sign him, because he was a salary cap casualty, fine. The one thing they did do in the draft, and again, this is not the second coming to Saquon Barkley I'm talking about, but I think they really like Ja'Cory Croxy-Merritt. I think this was the 245th pick in the draft. So let's not start, I'm not going to start bending over backwards telling you, again, that this guy's going to lead the league in rushing or anything next year. But he only played one game in 2024. That may account for a big part of his slide. They loved what they saw. Peters in the scouting department loved what they saw at the East-West Shrine game. The fact that he's going to be 24, he really fits into what Peters and the staff like, in that a quote-unquote rookie, but has played a lot of football. Lance Zierlein's scouting report on him is that he reads defenses to the second level well, outstanding stop and cut and acceleration, not much of a factor in the passing game in college, but he runs angry, and he wasn't hurt last year. It was eligibility issues. So if somebody popped up with take a flyer on a proven veteran, yeah, absolutely. Will they look towards, I think they're going to look towards running back a lot more heavily next year in the draft, because this will be Brian Robinson's last year under contract, and I'm fairly sure it's Austin Eckler's as well. So take that for what it's worth. But I think they're going to run with what they've got right now, hope that Croxley-Merritt can give them something, and then look for to strengthen the running back position again both next offseason, both with the free agents and in the draft. All right, that's going to do it for us today. Again, like and subscribe. Drop your comments below. You got anything you want us to address? We would be absolutely happy to do it. Have you a good one. Don't forget, rookie minicamp coming up end of the week. And like the wise man once said, if you're out on your bike tonight, as always, do wear white.